Princess Zara Vexali stood before the High Council with her head held high. Her skin glowed with anger she tried to hide. The 7 elders of her people, the Arcturians, watched her with cold eyes that looked like stars. Zara had done something they called unforgivable. She had questioned why they wanted to attack the humans in the Sol system. Worse, she had leaked secret battle plans to stop needless killing. "Your love for lesser beings has hurt our plans," said Elder Moxuri, his voice filling the judgment. "The normal punishment for such betrayal is death, but your royal blood means we must find another way to punish you." Zara felt her 2 hearts beat faster in her chest. Death for Arcturians meant being taken apart atom by atom. What could be worse than that? Elder Vayara, the only female on the council, leaned forward. "You seem to like humans so much? Then you will live with them. We order you to marry a human. Soldier. This will be a peace marriage between our worlds." Gasps filled the room. Such marriages between different species were seen as the worst shame among her people. Her family's pure royal line, clean for 10,000 years, would end with her. "Your ship is ready. You leave for Earth in 1 hour," Elder Moxuri said. "Your new mate waits for you, Lieutenant Olivia Mercer, a fighter pilot from Earth's Defense Force." Zara blinked in surprise. "A female human, but our kinds cannot have children together no matter what gender the human is." Elder Vayara cut her off with a cruel smile. "This arrangement meets our diplomatic needs while making sure your family line dies with you. A perfect punishment for a princess who values alien lives more than her own kind's power." Guards took Zara to the sleek ship that would carry her into exile. As she walked, she promised herself this punishment would not break her spirit. The humans might have less advanced technology, but they had shown great courage when fighting against Arcturian attacks. This Lieutenant Mercer might be part of her punishment, but perhaps she could be a friend in the bigger game Zara now found herself playing. What the council didn't know was that Zara had her own plans, and her punishment might be exactly the position she needed to stop the coming war. Lieutenant Olivia Mercer stood straight and stiff in the clean meeting room of Lunar Base Alpha. Her formal uniform felt uncomfortable, and she was losing patience. She had been waiting 3 hours after 6 months of diplomatic preparation for this arranged marriage to an alien princess, a punishment for both of them, from what she understood. "Remind me again why I agreed to this, Admiral?" she asked, the older woman beside her. Admiral Carol Wright sighed. "Because the other choice was all-out war with beings who have technology hundreds of years ahead of ours, Lieutenant. Your service record made you the perfect candidate, disciplined, adaptable, and with a special understanding of Arcturian battle tactics from your fights on the frontier." "Lucky me," Olivia said, touching the scar that ran from her temple to her jaw, a gift from an Arcturian scout ship she'd fought 3 years ago. The doors slid open, and Olivia caught her breath. Princess Zara Vexali entered, with 2 tall, Arcturian guards on either side. She wasn't what Olivia expected. The propaganda videos showed Arcturians as monsters, with their see-through skin showing glimpses of their 2 hearts and alien organs. But Zara moved with flowing grace, her tall, slim form commanding attention. Her skin shimmered with glowing patterns that changed with her emotions, currently showing what Olivia recognized as controlled fear. Most striking were her eyes, large, with many facets like a dragonfly's, but with clear intelligence behind them. They fixed on Olivia Wright. "Away." "Lieutenant Mercer," the princess spoke, her voice musical with a tone that seemed to make the air itself vibrate. "I am Zara Vexali, 3rd daughter of the sovereign monarch. I understand we are to be joined." Olivia stepped forward, giving the formal greeting she'd been taught. "Princess Vexali, Earth welcomes you. I am honored to do my duty to keep peace between our peoples." For a moment, something like amusement flickered across Zara's glowing skin patterns. "At least one of us speaks the diplomatic lies well," she said quietly so only Olivia could hear. "But I sense you are as trapped in this arrangement as I am." Before Olivia could respond, Admiral Wright moved forward with the formal papers. "The ceremony will be tomorrow. Tonight you'll both stay in the diplomatic rooms to get to know each other." As they walked through the lunar base toward their shared rooms, Zara spoke again, her voice lower. "Lieutenant, there are things you must know. Information about my people's true plans that I risked everything to expose." Olivia looked sharply at the alien princess. "Is that why you're really here? Not just punishment?" "My disgrace is a convenient cover," Zara admitted. "The marriage is my sentence, but I chose you specifically when given limited options." "Me? Why?" Zara's skin pulsed with patterns Olivia couldn't understand. "Because you're the only human who has ever defeated an Arcturian warship and lived. The Council underestimates what we might do together, and that may be our only advantage in the coming conflict." Olivia studied the alien princess, seeing her in a new light. Perhaps this forced marriage wasn't just a diplomatic sham or a punishment. Maybe it was the beginning of something unexpected, an alliance that could change the course of the coming war. As they reached their quarters, Olivia noticed how the lunar base staff stared at them, the human warrior and the alien princess. Enemies by birth, now to be joined by order. What no one else knew was that beneath the ceremony and politics, a secret plan was forming, one that might save both their worlds, if they could learn to trust each other. That night, as they sat in their separate rooms divided by a thin wall, both women wondered what the future held. For Zara, exile from her people and life among aliens she'd been taught were inferior. For Olivia, a binding to a creature from the stars whose people threatened everything she'd sworn to protect. Neither slept well, knowing that tomorrow would change their lives forever. Olivia woke slowly, her head pounding. The medical bay of the lunar base came into focus around her. She tried to sit up, but gentle hands pushed her back down. "Easy, Lieutenant," said Dr. Susan Reed. "You've been unconscious for 3 days." Memory flooded back. The neural bridge, the merged consciousness, the battle. "Zara," Olivia said urgently. "Where is she?" Dr. Reed glanced at something beyond Olivia's field of vision. "She's here, recovering like you. Arcturian physiology is challenging to treat, but she's stable." With effort, Olivia turned her head. In the next bed lay Zara, her usually luminescent skin dull and barely glowing. Her multiple hearts beat slowly but steadily on the monitor. "Will she be okay?" Olivia asked, surprised by the depth of her concern. "We think so. But what you two did?" Dr. Reed shook her head. "The neural connection caused changes in both your biologies. We're still trying to understand them." Olivia felt different, though she couldn't pinpoint how. "The battle? What happened? You don't remember?" The doctor looked surprised. "You and the princess turned the tide. After you sent that targeting data, Earth's forces were able to disable the main Arcturian weapons, and nearly a third of their fleet sided with you. They're calling themselves the Coalition for Peace now." Relief washed over Olivia. "The High Council? In disarray?" "The Arcturian Coalition is demanding new leadership." Dr. Reed checked Olivia's vital signs. "You're a hero, Lieutenant. Both of you are." Olivia looked again at Zara's still form. Hero wasn't a word she'd expected to share with an Arcturian princess who had been forced on her as a diplomatic wife. Yet here they were. "I need to see her. To talk to her," Olivia said, trying again to sit up. "Soon," Dr. Reed promised. "You both need rest first. The neural bridge put incredible strain on your systems." As the doctor left, Olivia lay back, sorting through her jumbled thoughts. The strangest thing was that some of them didn't feel entirely like her own. She had memories she couldn't possibly have. Of growing up in the crystal spires of the Arcturian royal city, of feeling the sting of the High Council's disapproval, of the crushing weight of royal duty. Zara's memories, she realized. Fragments, left behind by their shared consciousness. Did Zara now carry pieces of her mind as well? 3 more days passed before they were both strong enough to talk. The doctors moved them to a private recovery room in the diplomatic wing of the lunar base. Security was tight. Both Earth and Arcturian officials wanted to debrief them, but Admiral Wright had ordered them left alone until they recovered. When Zara finally opened her eyes fully, Olivia was sitting beside her bed. You're here, Zara said, her voice weak but musical as always. Where else would I be? Olivia replied with a small smile. They looked at each other, both searching for words to describe what they had experienced together. I can feel you, Zara said finally. In my mind. Not like before, but echoes, fragments. Olivia nodded. Me too. I have memories that aren't mine. I know things about Arcturian culture I never learned. The doctors say the neural connection changed us on a cellular level. Zara's skin began to glow with slightly stronger patterns. My biology has partially adapted to be compatible with Earth's environment. And you have bioluminescent markers? Under my skin, Olivia finished. They show up when my emotions are strong. As if to demonstrate, a faint blue glow appeared beneath the skin of Olivia's arms. It wasn't nearly as bright or complex as Zara's patterns, but it was definitely there. Are you sorry? Zara asked quietly. About what we did? Olivia considered the question seriously. The neural bridge had changed her forever. She would never be fully human again, just as Zara would never be fully Arcturian. They existed now in a space between species. No, she said finally. We saved both our worlds, and she hesitated, struggling to express the complex emotions she felt. I'm not sorry, I know you. Really know you. No one has ever understood me that completely before. Zara's skin glowed with the pattern Olivia now recognized as emotional warmth. Nor I you. Among my people I was always the strange one, the defective princess who cared too much about other species. In your mind, I found acceptance. A comfortable silence fell between them. They didn't need many words now. The connection they shared went beyond language. Their peaceful moment was interrupted when Admiral Wright entered the room, followed by an Arcturian that Zara straightened upon seeing. Princess Ve'ari, Zara said, addressing the Arcturian with surprise. Elder Ve'ara's daughter. Not just her daughter anymore, Admiral Wright said. Princess Ve'ari is the new lead representative of the Arcturian coalition government. The High Council has been removed from power. Ve'ari stepped forward, her skin glowing with formal patterns. The resistance succeeded, sister cousin. Your allies moved against the council when the attack failed. Those who survived have been imprisoned. And my family? Zara asked tensely. Your sisters are safe. Your mother, the Queen, has accepted the coalition's authority, though not happily. Ve'ari's patterns shifted to something more personal. Your actions were right, Zara. Many of us knew it, but lacked the courage to stand against the council. Olivia watched the interaction with new understanding. Thanks to Zara's memories in her mind, she could read the subtle shifts in Arcturian communication, the complex layer of meaning beneath their words. Admiral Wright cleared her throat. We need to discuss your situation. Both of you. The neural bridge has created complications. What kind of complications? Olivia asked. Political ones, Wright said bluntly. And medical ones. Your physiologies have changed. You're neither fully human nor fully Arcturian now. The question is, what happens next? Ve'ari's skin glowed with the pattern for formal proposal. The coalition wishes to appoint you both as special envoys, the first true bridge between our species. Your unique condition makes you ideally suited. You want to use us as diplomats? Olivia asked. More than diplomats, Wright clarified. You would help shape the new relationship between our worlds. Your shared knowledge of both species is unprecedented. Zara and Olivia looked at each other, communicating silently in the way only they could now. We need time, Zara said finally, to recover, to understand what we've become. Wright nodded. Of course. But there's one more thing you should know. She hesitated. The marriage arrangement. It was supposed to be temporary, a political tool. Given the circumstances, both governments are prepared to dissolve it if you wish. Another silent exchange passed between Olivia and Zara. That won't be necessary, Olivia said firmly. We prefer to maintain our current status, Zara added. It seems appropriate given our unique bond. After the officials left, Olivia moved to sit on the edge of Zara's bed. Their hands found each other naturally, the touch sending small sparks of shared consciousness between them. "So," Olivia said with a small smile, "still married?" "Still married," Zara agreed, her skin glowing with amusement. "Although I think we've moved far beyond what either of our governments intended with that arrangement." Olivia laughed. "I think we've moved beyond what either of our species ever imagined was possible." As they sat together, both partly human and partly Arcturian, they marveled at the strange path that had brought them here. What had begun as punishment had transformed into something neither could have foreseen, a connection that transcended species, a shared consciousness, and a future neither would face alone. The neural bridge chamber glowed with soft blue light. It looked like the inside of a seashell, smooth and curved, with two body-shaped depressions in the floor. "This will connect our minds?" Olivia asked, eyeing the strange technology with doubt. "If it works," Zara replied, her skin pulsing with nervous light. "The bridge was designed for Arcturian pairs who fight together. It's never been used between different species." Outside their ship, chaos was spreading. Earth's defense forces had detected the Arcturian fleet and were scrambling to respond. Emergency alerts flashed across their screens. They had perhaps 2 hours before the fleet reached Earth. "How exactly does this work?" Olivia asked as she watched Zara prepare the chamber. "We lie in these depressions. The ship fills them with neural fluid that conducts thoughts. Tendrils will connect to our brainstems." Zara looked up, her alien eyes serious. "Olivia, you need to understand what this means. If it works, I will know all your thoughts, memories, feelings, and you will know mine." Olivia swallowed hard. "No secrets." "None," Zara confirmed. "The technology was made for life-bonded Arcturian warriors who trust each other completely. We will be the first cross-species attempt." As Zara worked, Olivia contacted Admiral Wright on a secure channel. "The Arcturian fleet is coming." "This is not a drill," she said urgently. The Admiral's face was grim on the screen. "We see them. All defense forces are activating. Lieutenant, you and the Princess need to evacuate to the lunar base immediately." "We're not running," Olivia said firmly. "We have a plan, but I need you to trust me." "What plan?" Wright demanded. "The less you know, the better. But if it works, we'll give Earth's forces the edge they need." Olivia took a deep breath. "If we fail, it was an honor serving with you, Admiral." Before Wright could protest, Olivia ended the call. She turned to find Zara watching her. "You didn't tell her about the neural bridge," the Princess observed. "She wouldn't understand. She'd try to stop us." Olivia stepped closer to the alien, who had become her unlikely ally. "Is it ready?" Zara nodded. "But there's something you should know before we connect." She hesitated, then reached for Olivia's hand, the first time she had initiated touch outside of their public appearances. "This punishment, this marriage, has become something else to me," Zara said softly. "Something I never expected to find with a human." Olivia felt warmth spread through her chest. In their weeks together, planning and working side by side, something had grown between them. Not romance exactly. Their physiologies and cultures were too different for that, but a connection deeper than friendship. "I know," she said simply. "Me too." They entered the chamber and lay down in the shaped depressions. The ship hummed around them, responding to Zara's mental commands. Olivia felt suddenly afraid. "Will it hurt?" she asked. "Yes," Zara answered honestly. But then, clarity. The neural fluid began to fill the depressions, warm and thick like honey, but clear as water. As it covered Olivia's body, she felt her skin tingle. Tendrils rose from the fluid, seeking connection points at the base of her skull. Olivia looked over at Zara one last time. The princess's alien features no longer seemed strange to her. When had that happened? "Ready?" Zara asked. Olivia nodded. "Ready." The tendrils connected. Pain, blinding, all-consuming pain as their different neural systems tried to align. Olivia felt like her mind was being torn apart and reassembled. She screamed, or thought she did. She couldn't tell what was her body and what was just sensation anymore. Then suddenly, peace, clarity, understanding. Olivia opened her eyes, but they weren't just her eyes anymore. She was Olivia, Zara, a merged consciousness seeing through both human and Arcturian senses simultaneously. The ship around them glowed with new meaning as they perceived it through Zara's Arcturian senses. Alive, responsive, an extension of themselves. They stood in a mental space that belonged to neither species but was something new. They could feel the ship as part of their body, its weapons and engines responding to their thoughts. Through Zara's memories, Olivia understood the Arcturian fleet's weaknesses, the specific frequencies that could disrupt their shields, the blind spots in their targeting systems. Through Olivia's tactical training, Zara grasped human battle strategies that would seem random and unpredictable to the logical Arcturian commanders. Together, they reached out to both Earth's defense network and the resistant faction within, the Arcturian fleet, Zara's allies who opposed the war but had been powerless to stop it. The exiled light surged to life, accelerating toward the lead Arcturian dreadnought with impossible moves no single pilot could execute. The ship was no longer just a diplomatic vessel, but a weapon wielded by two minds functioning as one. As they engaged the enemy, a message transmitted simultaneously to Earth's forces and Zara's resistance allies. We stand between worlds, between peace and annihilation. Join us. Admiral Wright stared at her command screen in disbelief. A single ship, the exiled light, was engaging the lead Arcturian vessels with maneuvers that should have been impossible. "What am I looking at, Major?" she demanded. "Major Samantha." Kelly shook her head in wonder. "The ship is moving in patterns I've never seen, Admiral. It's hitting the Arcturian vessels exactly at their weak points. And look, some of the Arcturian ships are standing down, they're not firing back. Get me Mercer on comms." After several attempts, a strange dual voice responded. Olivia's human tones layered with Zara's musical alien speech. "We are here, Admiral," they said in perfect unison. Wright felt a chill run down her spine. "Lieutenant Mercer, what have you done?" "We have bridged our minds to fight as one," the dual voice explained. "We are sending you targeting data for the Arcturian ships. Their shields have resonance vulnerabilities at these frequencies." Data streamed into Earth's defense network, detailed technical specifications that would have taken years to discover through conventional means. "More Arcturian ships are joining us," the voice continued. "Princess Zara's resistance allies. They oppose the High Council's war." On the tactical display, Wright watched in amazement as nearly a third of the Arcturian fleet changed formation, positioning themselves between Earth and the hostile ships. "We cannot maintain this bridge for long," the voice said, now showing signs of strain. "Human and Arcturian neural patterns are too different. Use the data we've sent, end this before we break." The communication cut off. Wright turned to her officers, her decision made. "Send the targeting data to all ships. Focus fire on the hostile vessels. And send our thanks to the allied Arcturians." She paused. "And pray that whatever Lieutenant Mercer and Princess Zara have done to themselves isn't permanent." Inside the neural bridge, Olivia Zara felt their merged consciousness beginning to fragment. The pain was returning as their different biologies reasserted themselves. But before they separated, they shared one final moment of perfect understanding. In that space between their minds, there was no longer alien and human, no longer different, species or cultures. There was only connection, purpose, and something neither had expected to find in this forced union: joy. They had been thrown together as punishment, as political pawns in a game of worlds. Yet in that joining they had found something profound, something worth fighting for. As the neural bridge began to collapse and their minds separated, they held on to that feeling, the memory of being understood completely and accepted without reservation. And then, darkness. The marriage ceremony was short and cold. No music played, no flowers decorated the room. Just a few human officials and 2 Arcturian guards watched as Olivia and Zara spoke the words that bound them together by law. Olivia wore her dress uniform, with all her medals. Zara wore traditional Arcturian royal clothes, a flowing robe that seemed to be made of living crystal. It caught the light and broke it into rainbow patterns across the walls. When they touched hands to complete the ceremony, Olivia felt a small electric shock. She wondered if all Arcturians felt like that, or if it was just Zara. By the laws of Earth and the Arcturian sovereignty, you are now joined as diplomatic partners, said the human official. No one used the word wives, though that's what they were on paper. Admiral Wright approached them after. Your ship is ready. As agreed, you'll live on the Arcturian diplomatic vessel renamed. What was it again? Exiled Light, Zara said, her skin glowing with a pattern that Olivia was starting to recognize as bitter amusement. A fitting name for our situation, don't you think? The Admiral looked uncomfortable. Yes, well, you'll be in Earth orbit. Both sides will watch you. This union must look real and happy to the public. The peace depends on it. As they walked to the shuttle that would take them to their new home, Olivia whispered, You mentioned something yesterday about information? About your people's true plans? Zara's eyes darted to the guards walking behind them. Not here. Wait until we're on the ship. It has protections. The shuttle ride was silent and tense. When they finally docked with the Exiled Light, Olivia caught her breath. The ship was beautiful, sleek and crystalline, with a hull that seemed to bend light around it. This is to be our cage? Olivia asked, walking down the entry corridor that felt warm and alive under her feet. The ship is more than it appears, Zara replied, placing her hand against a wall that looked solid. It rippled like water, revealing hidden spaces. My youngest sister made sure this ship has special features not in the official records. Once the Arcturian guards left them alone, Zara's whole manner changed. She moved quickly through the ship, touching panels and speaking in her native language to the ship's computer. We can talk freely now, she said, her voice urgent. The ship is scanning for listening devices and blocking all transmissions. We have maybe an hour before anyone gets suspicious. What's going on? Olivia demanded. Why did you choose me specifically for this marriage? The truth this time. Zara's skin glowed with new patterns, determination, fear, and something like hope. Because you're not just any human pilot. You're the one who found the weakness in our shield patterns over Titan. You're the one who adapted to our tactics faster than any other human. Olivia crossed her arms. That doesn't explain why. We're here. The High Council doesn't want peace, Zara said flatly. This marriage is just for show. They're planning a massive attack on Earth in 3 months. They've developed a new weapon that can destabilize your planet's core. Cold fear washed over Olivia. How do you know this? I'm a royal princess. I have access to military plans, or I did, until I leaked information about the first wave of the attack. Zara's multiple hearts were visible through her translucent skin, beating fast. That's why I was punished, but they don't know how much I really took. She pressed her palm to another wall panel. A hidden compartment opened, revealing a crystal storage device. Everything is here. Fleet positions, weapon specifications, attack timelines, but it's encoded in Arcturian quantum language. I can't just give it to your people. They wouldn't be able to read it in time. Then what's your plan? Olivia asked, trying to process everything. We work together. I translate the key information. You help me understand Earth's defenses. We find a way to stop this war. Zara stepped closer, her alien eyes intense. My people are wrong to attack. Yours. Humans have done nothing to deserve extinction. Olivia studied the alien who was now legally her wife. Why should I trust you? This could be an elaborate trap. Zara's skin glowed with a new pattern, one of vulnerability. Because I've given up everything, my home, my royal status, my future. If my people discover what I've done, they'll dissolve me atom by atom. I have nowhere else to go. Something in her voice convinced Olivia. Okay, let's say I believe you. What do we do first? We learn to work together, Zara said simply. We have 3 months to save your world. The days fell into a strange routine. During daylight hours, Olivia and Zara played their parts as the first human Arcturian diplomatic couple. They attended functions, they gave interviews, they smiled for cameras and talked about cultural exchange and peace. At night, in the safety of their ship, they planned for war. Your defense grid has gaps here, here, and here, Zara said on their 10th night, pointing to a holographic map of Earth's orbital defenses. The Arcturian fleet will target these points first. Olivia made notes. We can reinforce those areas, but we'll need to do it secretly so your people don't notice. They worked well together despite their differences. Olivia was direct and practical. Zara thought in complex patterns, seeing connections that Olivia missed. They argued sometimes, but always found solutions. They also learned about each other. Olivia discovered that Arcturians needed less sleep than humans but more nutrition. Zara was fascinated by human music and art, things her species had little interest in. They were different in countless ways, yet they found common ground in their mission. One night, after a particularly tense diplomatic dinner with Earth officials, Olivia returned to the ship angry. They're not taking this seriously, she fumed, pacing the ship's living area. Admiral Wright thinks this marriage has solved everything. She won't listen to my warnings without proof, and we can't give her the proof without exposing you. Zara watched her with those multifaceted eyes. You're protecting me. Why? The question stopped Olivia mid-stride. Because we're partners now. In this mission. Just the mission? Zara asked softly. Olivia didn't know how to answer. Over the past weeks, something had changed between them. The forced proximity, the shared secret, the late nights planning. Together, it had created a bond neither had expected. I don't know what we are, Olivia admitted. Nothing in my training covered this situation. Zara's skin glowed with a pattern Olivia hadn't seen before. Nor mine. Arcturians don't usually form attachments outside our species. But, Olivia prompted, sensing there was more. But I find myself concerned for your well-being. More than the mission requires. Zara looked away, her alien features somehow conveying embarrassment. It's inappropriate. Olivia surprised herself by laughing. I think we're way past appropriate, don't you? We're planning to betray your government and save my planet. Also, we're technically married. Zara's skin flickered with amusement. There, is that? A comfortable silence fell between them. Then the ship's alarm blared. What is it? Olivia asked, instantly alert. Zara rushed to the control panel, her movements graceful even in panic. Long-range sensors. Arcturian ships just entered the solar system. Many ships. Her voice dropped. They're coming now, 2 months early. Their eyes met across the room, human and alien, both thinking the same thing. They weren't ready. What do we do? Olivia asked. There's one option, Zara said slowly. My sister included prototype technology in this ship, a neural bridge. It would let us share thoughts, coordinate perfectly. Share thoughts, is that even possible between our species? It's never been tried, Zara admitted. But we're out of time and options. Olivia took a deep breath. Let's do it. As the Arcturian fleet approached Earth, Olivia and Zara prepared to try something that had never been done before. A joining not just of marriage or alliance, but of minds. 1 year after what people now called the Battle of Earth's Edge, Zara stood by the large window of the exiled light, watching Earth turn slowly below. The neural bridge had changed everything, not just the outcome of one battle, but the very relationship between their species. What are you thinking about? Olivia asked, coming to stand beside her. Though the full neural link had faded after that desperate battle, echoes remained, impressions of emotions, occasional shared thoughts, and a deep understanding that no other human and Arcturian could share. I was thinking about punishment and joy, Zara replied, her skin glowing with the warm patterns Olivia had learned to recognize as contentment. How the council believed they were giving me the worst shame possible. Olivia smiled, reaching to intertwine her fingers with Zara's, more slender ones. Instead, they accidentally created the first human Arcturian team that actually works. Their first months after recovery had been challenging. Both Earth and Arcturian doctors had monitored them closely, fascinated by the biological changes the neural bridge had created. Olivia now had faint luminescent patterns visible beneath her skin when emotions ran high, a side effect of temporary Arcturian neural chemistry. Zara's changes were more profound. Her previously incompatible biology now partially harmonized with Earth's environment, allowing her to breathe unassisted and eat some human foods. As joint ambassadors, they had traveled between worlds, helping build the new peace. The Arcturian coalition government, led by Zara's cousin Ve'ari, had opened unprecedented cooperation with Earth. Technology exchanges, cultural missions, and even the first human visitors to Arcturian worlds had all been part of their work. The exiled light, once meant to be their prison, had become both home and the flagship of the new joint fleet, a symbol of what was possible when different worlds found common ground. Ambassador Vexalii Mercer, a young human aide, called from the doorway. The Arcturian delegation has arrived for the Technology Exchange Summit. Zara nodded. We'll be right there. When they were alone again, Olivia turned to face her fully. Do you ever regret it? The neural bridge, the changes to your body? Zara's multifaceted eyes softened. How could I regret what brought us here? She paused, her luminescence pulsing with the pattern that Olivia now recognized intimately. Love, though not exactly as humans understood it. My people intended marriage to you as exile and shame. Instead, I found partnership. Purpose. She touched Olivia's face gently. Joy. Their shared quarters aboard the exiled light had long since merged into one. What had begun as a political arrangement had evolved into something neither species had words to describe. Not quite marriage as either humans or Arcturians understood it, but a bond deeper than either tradition could contain. As they walked together toward the diplomatic chamber, Zara felt Olivia's thoughts brush against her consciousness, not with the overwhelming clarity of the neural bridge, but with the comfortable familiarity they now shared daily. Small fragments of each other lived in their minds, bridges between worlds. The Technology Exchange Summit was the largest yet, 50 human scientists and engineers meeting with 30 Arcturian specialists to share knowledge that would benefit both worlds. Zara and Olivia opened the proceedings together, their unique status as ambassadors of both species giving their words special weight. 1 year ago, Olivia began, our worlds stood on the brink of destruction. Today, Zara continued seamlessly, we build together what neither could create alone. The crowd watched them with fascination. Everyone knew their story. The princess sentenced to marry a human as punishment, the neural bridge that had changed them both, their crucial role in preventing war. They had become living symbols of the new relationship between Earth and Arcturia. After the formal speeches, as the scientists broke into working groups, Admiral Wright approached them. You two have exceeded every expectation, she said with genuine admiration. When we arranged this marriage, the best we hoped for was to buy time. None of us imagined this. She gestured to the room where humans and Arcturians worked side by side. The universe has a sense of humor, Admiral, Olivia replied with a smile. The High Council's perfect punishment turned out to be exactly what both our worlds needed. Later that evening, as the summit continued into working dinners and informal discussions, Zara and Olivia slipped away to their private garden aboard the Exiled Light. The ship's environmental systems had been modified to grow both earth plants and Arcturian crystal flora side by side, another symbol of their unique partnership. I received a message from my sister today, Zara said, as they walked among the hybrid blooms. The royal family has officially rescinded my exile. I've been invited to return to Arcturia for the season of renewal. Olivia looked up sharply. Are you going? Zara's skin flickered with amusement. We're going. The invitation was for both of us. Relief washed over Olivia's face, then uncertainty. Will they accept me there, a human in the royal palace? They have little choice. We come as a pair or not at all. Zara took Olivia's hand, watching the faint glow that appeared under her human wife's skin at the contact. Besides, they're curious about you, the human, who changed an Arcturian princess and helped reshape our society. Olivia laughed softly. When you put it that way, it sounds much more impressive than how it felt. Most days I was just trying to keep up with events. Weren't we all? Zara's expression grew more serious. The doctors have asked to examine us again. They're still trying to understand the long-term effects of the neural bridge. This was a more sensitive topic. The biological changes continued in small ways. Each month, Olivia became slightly more Arcturian, while Zara became slightly more human. The doctors couldn't predict where the process would stabilize or what it might mean for their futures. Whatever happens, Olivia said firmly, we face it together. Zara nodded, her skin glowing with agreement. Together. That night, as they prepared for sleep in their shared quarters, Zara found herself reflecting on the strange path her life had taken. She had been born a royal princess of the mighty Arcturian sovereignty, raised to believe in her species' superiority, and destined for a life of privilege and power. Instead, she had become something entirely new, part diplomat, part rebel, part human. She lived on a ship that traveled between worlds, married to a being her people had once considered lesser. And in that unexpected life, she had found more purpose and joy than the royal palace had ever offered. I can feel you thinking, Olivia murmured sleepily beside her. Another side effect of their lingering connection, strong emotions tended to leak across the bond. Just appreciating the irony of life? Zara replied. How the worst punishment the council could imagine became the greatest gift I've ever received. Olivia's hand found hers in the darkness. They should have known better than to underestimate us. That was always their mistake, Zara agreed. Underestimating humans. Underestimating me. Underestimating what we could become together. As sleep claimed them, their minds brushed together in that special way that only they shared. Not the full merging of the neural bridge, but a gentle touch of consciousness to consciousness. In that peaceful space between waking and dreaming, between human and Arcturian, they found their deepest connection. What had begun as punishment had become joy. What had been intended as the end of Zara's royal line had become the beginning of something new, a bridge between worlds that would shape the future of both their species for generations to come. And in that unexpected space, they had found home.